Hey, how you doing? And welcome back to the channel. So great to have you here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today, talking about George Harrison. I started off by having an exciting video and really jumping into this by going into George Harrison of All Things Must Pass. But you know, there were two albums that George did before that, and I didn't even talk about them or show them. So this is what this video is about. And it's about George Harrison's first album that came out in November of 1968, Wonderwall. Yeah, so this album is quite a unique and a very interesting album at that, that's for sure. George actually started working in this between November of 67 and then finishing it up in November again in 68. But George also had some very big India, I should say, influences on this album, because before that, the year for the Inner Light, George Harrison had a lot of sitars and stuff like that as well on those, and so that kind of really started the whole sitar and this album to be as it is. It's a very interesting album, like I said. I don't know. Is it my favorite? No, not really. But it's an interesting album, and we'll certainly dive into the different pressings that I have to kind of inspire you to maybe think more about this album. But this album is definitely an interesting album. I keep saying that, but I don't mean to go on, because I do like it. And it's quite interesting, but it's all instrumental. For those of you who don't know about this album, it is instrumental, and there are two great musicians who show up to help George out on this album. There are several other musicians, but I'm going to just focus in on Eric Clapton and Ringo Starr, who perform on this album as well for a track. And most of the other musicians are all from India. Which was kind of neat. And this was recorded in Bombay and also in London. So you've kind of got the flavor of two different countries of origin of making this album. But I just wanted to show you some of the different pressings that I've got and let you know about different sound quality. This is a 1968 German pressing. And this is an original. Take it out of the inner here. Hopefully the wind doesn't blow away my stuff. It's starting to get a little windy out here. This is a great shape. Actually, really, really good quality. It's very clean. And every single one of my pressings have this in it. I'm not going to go through every one, because this comes with like a heavy cardboard stock sheet in there that comes with it as well. It'd be too repetitive for me to go ahead and show 10 of these or something, let's say. I don't have 10 of them, but it sounded good. And then there's this for the inner sheet as well. And this opens up. Kind of nice, isn't it? Yeah, so that's really kind of neat. And for my next one, this one is a very, very rare pressing, and this is from India. Yeah, so here we go. We're talking about India and the whole album being made from India, and this is actually a first pressing from 1968. And all the backings have the same thing. I'll show you the back of this one, but they're all like this. So this album certainly is cool to have. And like I said, this one being from India. There you go. There's the pressing of that. And as I collect these, I enjoy collecting the different variations, and I really enjoy collecting different countries, and that's probably the biggest thing I'm into. So as I get ready to delve into more and more of showing you my solo stuff of Beatles, I have a lot of foreign countries just because I really enjoy having a lot of that. Different pressings. Okay, this is my first pressing from the UK, and this is, like I said, it's got the same back as well. And that is neat. Got airplanes flying over. All kinds of different sounds going on. I'm trying to do this video before something else happens. I've already reshot this video once, and I had a guy blowing his leaves over here because, like I said, it's fall, so you got leaves coming down. It's starting to get a little cool here, and I wonder, is it getting cool where you are? Because it is getting cool here. So like I said, I had somebody blowing leaves, and then I had another guy this way cutting grass, and it's just, as soon as you hit record, you try to do these as best you can, but it doesn't always happen. All right, this is a 1968 pressing, and this one is from France, and it's still in the plastic too. So that's pretty neat to have it in the plastic, man. So, like I said, airplanes flying over all the time. Very nice. And the sound quality of these, they do vary from album to album. You wouldn't think too much, but they really do. I'll tell you which one I like the best. Then here's my, in a minute, here's my next one. I'm trying to find my paper on this. This is also a very early German pressing. I've got these all printed up in my papers. Something like here, I've got it typed up down below, what it is. And I have those for my records myself, so I'll know. So that kind of helps me out. But it's kind of difficult talking about this album because it isn't something you're going to pull out every day and listen to, but it's just the fun to have all the different variations and the different pressings. And it's also very hard to come across and talk to you about this album without thinking of the other English group called Oasis, who did a tribute, and it's just, they were big Beatle fans and big solo Beatle fans too. And they did a song called Wonderwall. So, they were really into George and really liking it, so that was kind of neat to have that. I'm showing you this one, but this one's my next one is a Japanese pressing, and this is really pretty neat. But this is a 1977 pressing. It's not an original. Even this one from 77 is extremely expensive. I had a real hard time tracking this one down. I mean, they're out there, but if you want to pay $400 or $500, that's kind of the going price for a lot of these, especially for the ones in 77. And Japan kind of does these a little bit different, to where they have a gatefold, and I don't believe any of the other ones I've ever seen have gatefolds. So, and then this has got just a little bit of a next page booklet. So yeah, isn't that kind of nice? They did a little bit different than the regular. They kind of give you a gatefold in this one. And I always try to be very careful of not messing these up because I really don't want to ruin it. If you remember one of my other videos, I dropped my John Lennon record and just shattered it all to pieces. So sometimes you got to be careful in doing these videos. That's for sure. And I'm going to be real careful trying to get this out because I do not want this to tear. But this is kind of neat because also from the 77 variation, this comes with it. And this is a big, big poster of George Harrison, as if you wouldn't know. It's a poster of Phil Spector. I'll try and back up here, but yeah, this is enormous, isn't it? And I didn't tear it. It just went across the seat. It sounded like I tore it though, didn't it? Like I said, you gotta be careful. So here we go. There's another picture. So this is really great. Really cool to have a big poster in this variation that comes in this one. So it's a great big poster. And that was kind of the neatest thing that I thought about all of these albums, was the fact that you get a nice poster. Here we go. That's the, and I've listened to this one, and this one sounds tremendous. I really kind of go between the German pressing and the Japanese pressing. I think are the two very best qualities definitely. And if you're really not into the whole vinyl scene, which I understand, there is a CD copy of this, and you may be interested in just listening to this or just listening to it online, of Wonderwall. Like I said, that's the CD version. And also there is a video. I don't think it's on DVD. Let me know down below. Maybe you know better than I do. But I've only seen the VHS video of Wonderwall that's out there, and I haven't gotten that yet, but I will. That'll be probably in my list of things to get. And who knows, by the time I get done with doing this video, I always find more stuff right after I do a video. You know, I may find another copy from Spain, or like I showed you, I showed an American pressing, and I showed you it, you know, France and Germany and Japan and England. You know, I may find another one, and that's just kind of the joy of collecting. You just run across another copy, and that's okay. It's just kind of fun. It adds to the collection. But I just thought I'd show you my copies and my variation of Wonderwall, of all the different ones. So, do you have George Harrison's Wonderwall album? Have you listened to it in a long time? Bet you haven't listened to it recently, that's for sure. But let me know down below what you think of this album and what you thought of my video. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed showing it to you, and I thank you so very much for being here. And as I say on my channel, I'm out of here. Take care, everybody. See you on the next fun video.